Now at 5:30 on WKYT this morning, we are continuing to follow developing international news. Officials say 66 people on board an Egyptian flight are still nowhere to be found after the plane suddenly crashed.
Get you right up to the minute on that. Also on WKYT here in Kentucky, Letcher County officials are considering an ordinance that would prevent the county from complying with laws that open public restrooms to people identifying as transgender. More on how this national issue is emerging in the bluegrass just ahead.
And just days after being added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial, state officials will honor fallen officer Daniel Ellis again in Madison County today.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. It is a foggy start to this Thursday, and we're so glad you're with us. Here on WKYT This Morning, I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Michelle Chamberlain. It may be foggy now, but the sun's supposed to come out later,
That's
right?
the word, and we're going to enjoy it.
Yes.
Need to, because it's brief, and it's only been happening ever so often. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. And like you guys were talking about with that fog outside, that's our main issue this morning. It's really that I-64 corridor in southbound. That's your best bet. I will tell you this, I drove in early this morning, ran into some fog, and now look outside. It's clear. So it's really just patchy here or there, just kind of moves and jumps from spot to spot. So just keep that in mind. Southern half, a lot of these airport readings showing up 3 miles or less, and that's when it gets a little dangerous as you're traveling early this morning on some of those back roads and some of the roads where you're not getting a lot of street lighting. Temperatures are there in the 40s. It's a chilly start to the day. We're at 73 degrees by the afternoon. Some of us will jump 30 degrees by the morning to the afternoon with mostly sunny skies. Looks good, feels good today. Then we're focused in on some rain tomorrow. I'm going to show you how much I expect and where that corridor is for the heavy rain coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you.
We are continuing to follow a developing international story this morning.
Egypt aviation officials are searching right now for an Egypt Air flight that vanished off the radar shortly after entering Egyptian airspace overnight. It is not clear how, but aviation officials believe the flight has crashed. WKYT's Mark Barber is in our studio this morning. He has the latest developments as we're monitoring all sorts of sources, and this investigation goes on. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. Egyptian aviation officials say it is still too soon to say whether a terror attack or a technical problem caused this plane to crash into the Mediterranean Sea. There were 66 people on board, including a child and 2 infants. There were not any Americans on the flight. As new information continues to come in by the minute on this developing story, we are closely watching several unconfirmed reports that this plane crashed 130 miles away from the Greek island of Carpathos. The flight left Paris last night, and it was supposed to land in Cairo around 3:15 this morning. Aviation officials say they heard from the pilot 10 minutes before the plane disappeared, but they never received a distress call. The plane was flying at 37,000 feet and was just 40 minutes away from landing in Cairo when it vanished. The Egyptian army now has rescue teams searching the area where the plane is believed to have crashed. This morning's search for the plane comes less than 2 months after an Egypt air flight was hijacked and diverted to Cyprus. As we continue to follow the international investigation into this missing flight this morning, we're hoping to learn more about the search for survivors and the cause of the crash soon. In an hour and a half, Egyptian aviation officials are planning to give an update from their crisis center at Cairo's airport. Bill, Michelle.
All right, we anticipate that, of course, being carried live by CBS this morning, coming up at 7 o'clock. The network keeping us informed as to any new information that comes in, and we'll pass it on to you. And new this morning, Letcher County officials are now discussing the possibility of banning transgender people from using restrooms that don't match their gender at birth.
Yeah, this comes after the Obama administration recently issued letters to schools nationwide telling them to let transgender students use bathrooms that match their gender identity. WKYT's Caitlin Center joins us from the live desk with more on this issue. Caitlin?
Good morning, Michelle. It's a new federal guidance that has Letcher County officials up in arms. They want people to use the bathroom that matches the gender on their birth certificate and not their gender identity. County officials are speaking out after the Obama administration directed schools to allow transgender students to use bathrooms matching their gender identity. They want to know if it's possible to pass a law exempting them from a potential federal bathroom access law. Some in the county fear the new guideline opens the door to sexual abuse, while others say the community there is one based on love and welcoming others.
But we need to make sure that those are our priorities and not fear and misunderstanding and lack of education.
The Letcher County Fiscal Court has asked the county attorney to see what options they have legally, although it's not yet clear how they would enforce a bathroom law. At the live desk, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
A special memorial honoring the life of fallen Richmond police officer will be unveiled in Madison County today under the order of the Kentucky General Assembly. A portion of US 25 will now be designated Officer Daniel Ellis Memorial Highway. Officer Ellis was shot and killed in the line of duty last fall. Just this past weekend, he was among 5 other fallen Kentucky officers to have their names engraved in the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. Today's memorial unveiling will take place at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, and that's actually a segment of Main Street there in Richmond that will be named for Officer Ellis.
That's a great thing they're doing. So this morning, Donald Trump is getting ready for the general election battle by going after both Hillary and Bill Clinton.
Clinton, on the other hand, still faces rival Bernie Sanders, who says he will not be getting out of the race. Hannah Daniels has the latest from the campaign trail.
Bernie Sanders is pressing ahead with his campaign in delegate-rich California, despite a growing rift with the Democratic establishment.
If they want to defeat Trump, and together we must defeat Trump, together we are the campaign to do it.
The Vermont senator has come under fire from party leaders after his supporters disrupted the Nevada Democratic Convention over the weekend.
To suggest that our campaign has anything to do with creating violence is an outrage and unacceptable.
Sanders is far behind Hillary Clinton in the delegate count. The former Secretary of State has less than 100 delegates to go before clinching the Democratic nomination. While questioning a recent New York Times report about Trump's relationship with women on Fox News last night, Trump brought up old accusations of sexual assault against former President Bill Clinton.
For example, I looked at the New York Times. Are they going to interview Juanita Broderick? Are they going to interview Paula Jones? Are they going to interview Kathleen Willey? In one case, it's about exposure. In another case, it's about groping and fondling and touching against a woman's will. And rape. And rape.
A spokesperson for Clinton responded to the exchange saying Trump is doing what he does best, attacking when he feels wounded and dragging the American people through the mud for his own gain. In the latest national poll released by Fox News, Donald Trump beats Hillary Clinton by 3 points in a general election matchup. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
Now, in the latest poll, Clinton is ahead by 14 points among women, but Trump leads by a larger 22 points among men in the general election matchup. Both Clinton and Trump are off of the campaign trail today. Kentucky Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes has responded to Trump's comment that he made about her on Twitter. In the tweet, the presumptive GOP presidential nominee questioned why Grimes called the Kentucky Democratic primary for Hillary Clinton Tuesday night when the Associated Press was still reporting that it was too close to call. Grimes replied to Trump's tweet by saying, quote, "because I can count." Grimes has been an avid supporter of Clinton and has attended several of her rallies around the state. Clinton won the primary over Bernie Sanders by less than 2,000 votes.
It's been nearly a month and Lexington police still have not made an arrest in a deadly hit-and-run crash. Now the victim's family wants justice. Police say 52-year-old Roger Morrison died on April 22nd when he was hit by a car on New Circle Road near Industry Road. The car you see on the right on this picture is believed to be the person responsible, but with no witnesses coming forward, investigators still don't know who hit Morrison. Now, as weeks continue to pass, Morrison's family tell us they just want answers.
How could somebody do that to him and just leave him there? What gets me the most is if he was the person who accidentally hit somebody, he would have got out and helped. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have kept running or fleeing and evading and all that, but somebody did it to him.
Lexington police are now renewing their call for help, asking anyone who knows anything or can identify the car that hit Morrison to please contact them immediately.
Investigators are trying to figure out what caused a deadly fire in Harlan County. The fire started just before 3 o'clock yesterday morning at a home on Highway 413, not far from the community of Harlan. Police say firefighters found 25-year-old Jerry Langley dead inside the home. An autopsy has been scheduled to find out what caused his death.
After destroying one home and damaging 4 others nearby, a fire in a Lexington neighborhood is now raising questions about how homes are built. Firefighters say Tuesday's fire on Stansbury Cove near Hayes Boulevard quickly spread due to the homes being built so close to one another. In some of the cases, some homes are less than 10 feet apart. Since 2006, regulations have required new homes to have a fire-rated wall if they are built within 5 feet of the property line. The homes damaged in Tuesday's fire were built in 2005. Firefighters are still trying to figure out what caused the fire.
And a Southern Kentucky couple is facing several charges this morning after police say they were driving high on drugs with their 3-month-old baby also in the car.
London police say Christopher Lawson and April Hicks were originally pulled over on Highway 192 Tuesday for expired plates, but police quickly realized they were both high. They say Lawson admitted he had just snorted a prescription painkiller, and both admitted to using meth. Police say they then found a gram of meth along with a needle inside their baby's diaper bag.
Unfortunately, it's a very common thing because they usually don't think police officers are going to look there.
Both Lawson and Hicks refused to talk to us from jail. Court documents say Lawson has faced many drug, theft, and burglary charges in the past. Time Warner Cable is close to having a new owner. Charter Communications is expected to complete its acquisition of Time Warner Cable soon. Charter agreed to buy the company last year, but the deal wasn't cleared by antitrust regulators until the last few weeks. Charter says its Spectrum brand will replace the Time Warner Cable brand over the next year and a half. Now, the name Time Warner will eventually be phased out and will eventually be known as Charter Communications.
A Lexington landscaping company has stepped up to help a preschool that was hit by vandals earlier this week. Those vandals ripped up and stole thousands of dollars worth of plants and other landscaping outside the Growing Together preschool near Georgetown Road. But yesterday, Hinkle Denmark Company began replacing the landscaping, something preschool officials say they would not have been able to do. Managers say the preschool's new landscaping should be completed within the next few weeks. So a bad deed followed by a good deed. Certainly.
Terrible that happened at a preschool.
It really is. It's ridiculous. All right. Time to check live drive traffic this morning, and let's see what is going on your Thursday as we anticipate a nice day ahead with a lot of sunshine. And so this morning, weather isn't a big issue with the exception of fog. And we do have some patchy fog out there, reducing visibility. And Micah says that is likely to continue until maybe even the 9 or 10 o'clock hour. There's I-75, the Clays Ferry Bridge, which of course goes over the Kentucky River, and that is always a spot where when it is foggy, you'll get a pretty heavy patch. And we're looking on up there at Winchester Road and on to I-75 at the southern split. All of those areas with that little bit of fog this morning. No reports of any major delays, so that's good.
That's always good news, right?
It is. More news is coming up for you Thursday morning on WKYT, rolling toward the weekend, and it's so good to have you with us.
Still to come, an engagement shoot for a soon-to-be married couple highlights something the pair loves almost as much as they love each other. We'll have that coming up.
And we're seeing those clouds move on out. Now we have the clouds on the ground, which is your fog, but those lift and make for a beautiful day today. Not so much tomorrow. Here comes the rain. I'll show you that coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
It's not looking great across the region with that fog out and about. That's the patchy fog we're going to be looking for, especially that 64 corridor and southbound. That's where we're really seeing those airport readings come in at 3 miles or less. You can see across the region. Just doesn't look all that good in some locations, but that's our only issue this morning. At least we're not talking about rain, right? Teachers, heads up. This is the last day. I know school's starting to end very soon, if not already for some. But yeah, this is the last day this work week that you'll actually be able to get outside. Tomorrow, maybe during the morning hours, but tomorrow some heavy rain moves on in. So 65 degrees there by 11 a.m. We get toward noontime, roughly 70 degrees noon to about 1 p.m. and a lot of sunshine too. It'll be perfect there for playgrounds. Just trying to get the kids outdoors before that season or that actual school year does end. Check this out. Did you know, this is a fun fact or not so fun fact, depending on the way you look at it. 14 out of the 18 days so far in May have seen rain. 14 out of the 18 days so far in May have seen rain. Here in Lexington, we're about 1.5 inches above average. That's out at the airport. All right, at my house, we're about 7, 8. inches of rain above average. It's been so spotty the past few days, or few weeks rather, that we've just had one thunderstorm after another. So some zones have picked up a lot of rain. Some zones picked up a lot of rain, but not as much as others. We'll head off into your day tomorrow. Look during the morning hours and in toward noon. Not much going on, right? So first half of your day is only a very slight chance of rain. It's the second half that we start to see that rain pick up. Look at 2, 3, 4 p.m. Kids coming home from school, you coming back home or home from work or going to pick up the kids. And here comes some showers, some thunderstorms making their way into the region. And that takes you off into the afternoon and evening hours as it continues to just funnel in. You can see the yellows, the oranges that typically show up when you have heavy rain. Most of that was back toward east and southeastern Kentucky there on Friday. Now we're at Saturday morning, and there we go with some showers. I would say Saturday morning has the best chance of rain as opposed to Saturday afternoon and evening. Morning is more like 60%. Afternoon, you can still see about a 30–40%, but still, I think the best opportunity is actually during the morning hours. We're going to be seeing anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to about 2 inches of rain. I would say 1 to 2 inches for east and southeastern Kentucky. And then the farther you get back toward the western zones, the northern zones, you're talking about 1/4 of an inch to about 1/2 an inch. 7-day forecast, and that's for tomorrow into Saturday. That's all together. Sunday, we're looking at beautiful weather, and that's a nice stretch right there. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm going to have to look this up and go through my little database I have over there. See how many times we've actually hit 3 consecutive dry days here, not just in May, but date back to April, too.
I think it would be back in probably early April.
That's true.
Yeah.
I would go with that.
Go looking for that, because we've been looking for these days, you know.
I'm with you.
We have eyed today for the past week.
Yeah.
You know, just
absolutely.
looking forward to the nice,
sunshine.
beautiful day.
And here it comes.
A little
Yes.
tough spell here.
Here it
All right, 5:49 is our time this morning.
A soon-to-be married couple took their love for Costco to a whole new level after deciding to shoot their engagement photos inside the store. What do you think of that?
How romantic, right? Photos show the couple lovingly gazing into each other's eyes amid the tubs of butter and bulk meats and huge boxes of Cheez-Its and so forth. The pair said that they feel engagement shoots always should look awkward, so they wanted to shoot the pic somewhere that they both love and they could also be themselves. The photog said that he was happy to do it because he always wants to give his couple something that is uniquely theirs. And I would say that one probably is.
It's very true. Very unique. I thought that you were going to tell me that they had met at Costco. Maybe they both worked there and that's how they met.
It sounds like they just wanted something to put in their, you know, their refrigerator magnets or something. Just
I wonder if my
strange
husband
pics.
would have shot engagement photos at the mall.
Had you asked, probably so. 5:50 now, it's 10 till 6.
He would have been that guy sitting on the chair in the hallway, you know?
Yeah.
You know how the guys are always just sitting there?
Right, you know.
Anyway, coming
waiting
up.
for the shopping.
Yeah, you'll get the stories making news at this hour.
Good, check traffic again. We'll see how things are moving along this morning. And, of course, we keep you updated on weather and the latest on WKYT. Stay with us now. Good morning. Welcome back into WKYT this morning. It is 5:53 this morning. We have some fog out there to
Yeah, you got to be
deal
careful
with.
as you head out today, right?
Mike is saying, what, 8, 9
8,
o'clock
9
or so?
o'clock,
So hopefully
go
that'll-
away.
Yeah, that'll move on out.
So let's take a look at some of the stories we're working on at this hour.
Search and rescue teams are looking for an Egypt Air flight that disappeared from radar overnight. Egyptian officials say Flight 804 crashed a few hours after taking off from Paris. They say the flight vanished just minutes before entering Egyptian airspace. 66 people were on board, no Americans. A showdown is brewing on Capitol Hill over efforts to combat the Zika virus. Yesterday, House Republicans approved a $622 million bill to fight the disease. The White House is already planning to veto it, calling that approach a dumb approach. They say it is way inadequate. The president asking for about 3 times that amount.
Taking an aspirin immediately after a mini stroke can cut the risk of a major stroke.
That's the message from European researchers who found that aspirin was most beneficial in the first few weeks after a mini stroke. They also found aspirin reduced the severity of major strokes.
And new research in England suggests ADHD does not appear for some people until adulthood. In one study, 70% of young adults with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder did not meet the criteria for the disorder during childhood assessments. Let's get a check this hour on today's traffic trouble spots with live drive traffic. Right now, all is green, and that is good, but there is some fog out there, so just be careful. Mike is saying that fog should lift around 9 o'clock this morning. Time to check with what's making news online with Bill.
Yeah, it's 5:55 right now, and on WKYT.com we are staying on top of the developments as the search and rescue teams are continuing to look for an Egypt Air flight that has disappeared from radar overnight. We'll keep you updated on air and online as the questions and the desperation certainly is growing. A judge has ruled that Governor Matt Bevin can cut state money for higher education from the current year budget. The Attorney General is promising an appeal, and we have the full story of that online this morning. The state's community college system is cutting 500 positions and suspending some programs as it faces a huge shortfall blamed on declining enrollment and years of cuts from the state. From Purple Rain to 1999, the sounds of Prince rang out from a Lexington music venue last night. About 400 people turned out at the Manchester Music Hall, and they really relived the memories of pop icon Prince, who died about a month ago. We have that story uploaded for you now on WKYT.com. We'll be watching for today's decision by the top unsigned basketball prospect in the country. Marquise Bolden apparently has it down to Kentucky or Duke, and we'll find out at some point today. Kentucky bourbon continuing to show strong growth. Kentucky.com is the story of bourbon production being up 44%. Almost 1.9 million barrels were filled last year. CBS This Morning is coming up at 7 with your eye-opener and the latest on the plane crash in the Mediterranean. Plus, we'll have local updates. Join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest anytime, WKYT.com.
Starting off in the 40s, some patchy fog. That fog lifts right around 8 or 9 a.m. Then we're at 73, mostly sunny skies. You know rain moves in tomorrow, but what time? I'm going to have that with another hour. WKYT News.